Welcome back to Rated Radio. I'm Ray Zander.
And I'm Shane Wyndham.
This is Songs People Think They Don't Know.
I hope you're ready for a fight.
Roll the intro. So Shane, the list that we covered this week was songs people think they don't know. Why don't you tell us your story?
I went with Miles Away by Winger. It's happened to me a number of times now, Ray, where I'm listening to what I'd classify as your dad's sort of love songs. You know, those hairband ballads from the 80s. Only now I'm in the forgotten end of that particular pool more often than not. And I'm hearing something I can't nail down. So I go to look at who the artist is and realize it's fucking Winger. And the disappointment I want to feel in myself as someone who came up in the era of Beavis and Butthead is almost too strong to take. Now, for those of you listening who may not understand, Beavis and Butthead are a couple of badly educated jackasses who consistently sport shirts repping Metallica and... AC/DC.
AC/DC, that's right. That's Beavis's shirt.
But the dorky kid on their block, named Stuart, who they're always taking advantage of, can only ever be seen wearing a Winger t-shirt. So it would seem the time has finally come for me to embrace the fact that I was never a full-on Beavis or a Butthead. I have always been some degree of a Stuart. And owning what you are may not make you a cool kid, but it's the coolest thing there is for your sense of self-worth. So yeah, I apparently think Winger rocks, and I don't care who knows it.
It's all right, Stuart. This is a safe place. Speaking of...
What's sad, by the way, is my sister, Katie, and my brother-in-law, Joseph, they named their son Stuart.
Stuart.
And I'm pretty sure it's because Joseph is obsessed with Family Guy, and Stuart, obviously, is the baby.
Stewie.
Is the family of the baby, or the baby of the family.
I never, ever put that together. Really?
I think so. I think, but every time I heard the name for a very long time.
You thought of Beavis and Butthead?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then, you know what? You can look at him and see a kindred spirit.
Now, Joseph, to be fair, also really loves Beavis and Butthead. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was a duality thing for him?
Maybe.
Like, hey, look, two of my favorite cartoons, and I've got a name from each of them. So.
You should ask him on Banter Bar the next time he's on. So, anyway, well, since Shane has come out of the closet and announced that he is actually a Winger fan, why don't we take a break from that emotional development and, let's go take a break, Shane. Are you okay?
I'm just over here laughing, trying not to cry and realizing, there's more coming. Yeah. But, so the Billboard hit we covered was Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean.
Aldean.
However you say it.
I'm not here to judge, man.
How about you go ahead and tell me what you thought?
Okay. This paints a gritty picture of community justice and pride and country rock with a polished production, but can come off as oversimplified. 5. Like the song. Pretty simple review.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
You sure you want to ask me that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Buckle up, baby. This review might get just a little political.
Here we go.
Gonna start with the instrumental, though, because it's the one part of the song I do somewhat appreciate. If you imagine a country version of Nickelback, you're pretty much where this enjoyable, if a bit plastic, track lands. The guitar is engaging, if not overly complicated, the melodies vary appropriately, and honestly, I've never disliked Jason Aldean's voice, so the sound itself is catchy enough in terms of mainstream appeal. Beyond that, though, we are definitely in lyrical shit-kicker territory, with an ideology so self-defeating and full of critical thinking fallacies that it makes me want to forever distance myself from a species capable of allowing this sort of idiocy to ever become popular. Initially, the lyrics are benign enough to be forgiven, even if there's clear assumption being made here that small-town or right-leaning folks don't produce people who do shitty things, when Republican males are the group most likely to commit domestic terrorism, and almost exclusively so. But the lyrics begin strawmanning pretty quickly, and completely miss that flag burning has been ruled on as constitutionally protected free speech, Aren't you the party of free speech? What? Okay. Goobers who think like this are quick to get heated about flag burning, which doesn't actually hurt anything except shallow-minded feelings, but will turn to book burning and banning like there's no potential there for harm. The party of free speech, my ass. Much of what you get from these lyrics is a confused sense of tribalism. They aim for honor in saying things like, we take care of our own, but miss that all of us are human, and most of us are U.S. citizens too. Even those who aren't are usually here because they believe in the potential greatness of our nation. There's an underlying threat of lynch mob violence that's also ever present, which further clarifies that this sort of person has no interest in our justice system's law and order. They just like to fantasize that they're good people, in a country where we might get back to the Wild West notion of feeling justified in hating the other, to the point that they can off them without repercussions. And the shoe on the other foot notion is never even considered here. Example, and I apologize, we're still going.
No, it's fine.
Go to a big city and sucker punch someone on sidewalk in front of a crowd. The reaction you get is the same one offered in a small town. But things like this are no fun for the target audience if they aren't dehumanizing folks who live in cities. Sadly, I'm convinced these kinds of people will never understand where they go wrong until it affects them directly. Anyway, an instrumental version of this would get 4 out of 10 stars from me, as is, though, 2 out of 10.
All right. Well,
I did warn you, right?
You did. But, what was said, and we're going to leave it at that. I think I kept it vague for a reason.
Okay.
So let's move on and talk about my story. So for the list of songs people think they don't know, I went ahead and went with Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. After recently choosing this song to participate in my workplace's very own version of Masked Singer, you're looking at Alien Number 2, by the way, or you're listening to Alien Number 2, by the way, I realized that this Forgotten Classics message hit a little closer to home than I truly realized. By the way, I got second place.
I was going to ask, but I wanted to let you read.
I got second place. I lost to Despicable Me. It's fine. I'm not bitter about it. That is why, dear listeners, that I must inform you that with a heavy but hopeful heart, that I have made the difficult decision to step away from this podcast, as I shift my focus to make room for new opportunities. To my cousin and co-host, thank you for being the best partner in this journey. Your support, your creativity, and friendship.
And all your political bullshit.
Have meant the world to me. And I am so grateful for every memorable melody that we have created here. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Isn't that what you're always telling me?
Yeah, but it's a mess. I thought I had my shit. And to our listeners, thank you for your incredible support over the past 5+ years. You've been the heart of this podcast, and I am deeply thankful for each of you who have listened, who have shared, and who have come on and engaged with us along the way. Though this is the end of this chapter in my life, I will always carry these memories with me as I continue to write my own memorable melody. And I thank you for everything, and I love you all from the bottom of my heart.
Please like or subscribe if you're still listening. And remember, you can still send us all kinds of feedback to rated_radio@yahoo.com, right?
Go ahead.
So I'm clearly woke, and proudly so. So I can't not give it to a crying lady. So you're going to take the win for this one. I mean, my whole story anyway was just about what a loser I am because I'm Stuart.
You're not a loser, Shane. Don't take the things that you believe in and that you feel strongly about as anything negative. You are not a loser. And I feel very lucky and privileged to get to sit across from this table with you for so long.
Well, best of luck.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere, dude.
Whatever it is you do,
yeah,
the show will still be here. I have not figured out how that's going to work yet.
You just want me to pick some music and throw it at you?
I've already got music selected at this point. I've figured those. I've covered those bases. I just don't think these shows are going to be anywhere near as long as they have been.
Yeah.
Because mostly I just like rating.
I know. And I mostly am here for the connection, for the music, just to bullshit with you, And I think when thinking about it, I want to create space for new opportunities, but at the same time, this is not the first time Shane knew about this.
No, we've gone back and forth on, should we stop doing this?
We've been doing that for a couple of seasons, but up until recently, it really started to be apparent that the only time I was seeing you is when we were recording.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to making room and space for other things in my life that either need work or that I need to invest in, that is something that I have realized is, I think, hurting us. And I don't want to just meet to record. And I don't want it to be about the work. So, at least for a little while, I want to get back to some normalcy with some people that I really, really care about and I really want to invest in. And I think that creating the time and the space and the energy to do that is the first step. So this is me taking the first step, even though it's hard.
Well, it's a good time for you to take this step because I'm beginning to think that I'm entering my villain era.
I think I'm entering my villain era.
So, well, you may be comfortable keeping your distance once I've entered my villain era. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
I think I'm a different person.
Okay.
Or that's not even fair. I think I'm becoming
You're evolving.
more myself. I'm more comfortable in my own skin.
I feel the same way about me.
Yeah.
But I don't, unless we have beef, Shane, I'm not going anywhere.
I understand that. I'm not worried about that.
Okay. Well, then we're good.
Yeah.
Then we have no issues.
And like I said before, if you are still out there listening, stuff will still go on. And I'm sure Goober across the table here will want to come on and cry at some point again for us. So
the emotional aspect might be lacking. So I might need to come on and vent some trauma every so often. But it's been real, man.
I sound like an AI robot.
No, you do not. Shut up.
You know how much I hear that on phones? Is this a real person? I just told you my fucking name. What do you think? I'm almost to the point where when I get asked that question, my response is going to start being no. Just to see.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's customer service. It's talking on the phone that does that.
Yeah.
Because I get told the same thing working at the front desk.
Sorry, you have one of those voices. Why do you think they fucking hired me?
Thank you. I'm doing my job. You should add it to the fucking customer service survey or whatever they send out. Jesus. Anyway, that's going to do it for now.
Until next time, fill your world with music.